So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the faux lock human hair blend on my mannequin today. This is the Marley hair I use. This is basically going to be the foundation of the lock. I use this Marley hair and attach the human hair to the ends. You'll see what I mean in just a few. This is the exact hair I used. Now for me, the human hair I like using is from this hair company called youll. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this hair company right here, I'll leave it down in the description box so you can click the link. I get a body wave and I get a deep wave. The deep wave is this right here. That's what I'm gonna be using in the front mostly, and then the body wave, which is this right here, I'm gonna be using completely just for the ends. Now you can do this however you would like to do it. Put whichever curl type you want wherever you'd like. The next hair you're going to need is spring twist hair. I like specifically getting it from this vendor from Amazon or AliExpress. I have two different places I get it from. I can leave both links down below. You're free to use any type. For all three of these types of hairs, you guys are absolutely free to use whatever you're comfortable with, whichever Marley hair you like, whichever human hair you like, and whichever spring twist hair you like. But this is how I do mine specifically. Then of course, you'll need the crochet needle, nail glue, and this shine and jam. This is the only gel I like using for these locks specifically. So we're going to be starting off, of course, on the nape, which is the back of the head. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I make those. I don't know what everybody calls them. I call them round parts or free parts. Some people call them shells or tails or what, child, I don't know. I call them round parts. So you're going to want to make a draft of like a little round part, and then you're going to want to do an actual round part with the gel just to get it, absolutely crispy. Now in this tutorial, yes, I'm using a mannequin head, so the part probably will come out a little bit janky, but you guys basically get the point. If you want another video on how I do parting for this style, I have plenty on my YouTube channel that I can show you, but this is just a detailed video of how I part. Basically, you want to part on the side. You can start from the right or the left, wherever. But you're going to want to make sure that you're using the gel to get an even crispier part. Alright, now since we got our part on the right hand side, we're going to do another one on the left hand side in the corner. And then you guys will see how the parts will meet up, basically how to do them and make them go into each other. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. So right here, you can see each one that I did. Your next one is obviously going to be right there in the middle of those two. You're going to want to make sure that in the middle of that braid, you're starting from there going to the other side. You'll see what I mean. You want to start right there. And then you want to, do the round part and bring it to that side. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically how you do that parting, just to make sure that they're not stacked on top of each other. And you're going to want to continue to do that throughout the whole back of the head. Now, I would consider these parts kind of large. This is how I usually do them though. But I always make sure to start from that middle of that braid to the other side in the middle of that braid. So it's basically bringing a braid there. So we're going to do another braid in between those two braids and then another braid in between the other two braids. You'll see. The goal for these braids is basically to not have any braid stacked on top of each other. Obviously, these two are in the middle of this braid down below it. So then we're going to put another braid above that, right there, to fill in that space. So every time you're stacking them, you just want to make sure you're putting a braid in between two other braids. Every time you go up. So this is the back absolutely completed. I'm going to show you guys how I do the front, because a lot of people usually ask me, well, if the back looks like this, how do I get the front to, you know, look similar? So for one, I always do a middle part. Some people who do round parts don't make middle parts. Not everybody likes that, but it would basically be the same way even if I didn't create the line or the middle part there. But I like to make mine symmetrical. So what I do is make a middle part. Now we're going to work with one side of the hair. And then what I'm going to do is start to round the parts from the side instead of from the back. I hope that makes sense. You'll see what I mean. So you see how I parted that, and I wanted to lay down to the side and not round it like to the back like how the other one is. So we're basically gonna do the parts but going towards up instead of going towards the back. But basically you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to explain a little bit further why and what that does. It'll just bring the style together a little bit better so that they're not all, you know, looking like they're all going towards the back. You want them to lay back and to the sides. So up here can be a little bit tricky when you get to the top. That is a little small piece. It's probably going to turn into 3 braids. That's what usually happens. Sometimes people's heads are a little bit bigger and it usually is 4 braids, but most of the time it just turns into 3 braids that you'll have left. So I basically just try to part this section into 3 braids just so that they fall in a good place in between other braids, and just try my best. The parts and the shape of it might not be exactly the same, but it's still overall gonna try to lay in between other braids. Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. Now on to the fun part. This is how I prep for my clients. I do this all the day before I have an appointment with this style. Now this is just my way of doing it. I haven't seen many videos on the best or faster way to do it, but this is why I always do all of this the day before. I prep the ends of the hair to go onto their hair the next day, all before they come, because trying to do this the day of is a lot. You're basically going to cut a piece of the bundle hair, and then you're going to want to braid it onto the Marley hair. So if you know how to add, like a box braid kind of, but just like freely, you're going to want to add it like towards the bottom. So you just want to make like a small braid, and then what you're going to do is add just a little bit of nail glue. Now the nail glue is just going to ensure that the human hair is not going to slip or come off of the Marley hair, because we basically want the human hair only at the ends. Then you're going to want to make sure you cut the weft off of that bundle, just to make sure that it's not going to be in the lock, because if it is, it's just going to make the lock on the bottom really bulky, and you don't want that. So just go ahead and cut off the weft afterwards. And now you have a Marley hair ready to be installed into your client's head. And we're going to do this for I do about like 40 to 50 pieces. This is going to be just a close-up of me braiding that human hair onto the ends of that Marley hair, and then adding nail glue to seal it, and then just squeezing it a little bit together just so it's all, intact, and just braiding a little bit more, and then cutting off the weft from that little piece of human hair. So this is how I attach the human hair to the ends. So right here is going to be the third type of hair you're going to use. So after you do the Marley hair and the human hair together, I always prep for the spring twist hair. I always use 3 packs of this. I take a piece out, and what you want to do is fluff it out. This is how you prepare the hair before your client comes. You're going to want to basically detangle, like, make the curl imperfect. So you want to kind of fluff it out. So you just take it in half and just pull, really. Or you can also take your thumb and just slide it through and just like detangle it a little bit. And then it's ready. You can do this just before your client comes, so it just saves time. And I usually just throw mine in a box and just grab and go as I need. Now we're gonna go ahead and start doing the installation onto the client's hair. So right here, I'm just showing you that if you want it longer or shorter, you would have to basically just pull it, yeah, kind of like that to make it shorter, or pull it the other way like that to make it longer. But I usually do mine kind of like that, just for my clients, because they want it to be like waist length. So basically, you're going to attach the hair as if it's like kind of like a box braid. You're going to take the Marley hair and use the client's real hair as like a third piece, and then just basically start braiding. And if you need to see like how to attach like box braids, there's plenty of box braid videos that are online that are just like this. But this is basically how you attach the Marley hair to the client's hair. After you're done braiding, you're going to want to take the crochet needle and you're going to take the spring twist hair, pull the spring twist hair through the root, just a little bit, not the whole thing. And then you're going to want to start wrapping. Now for wrapping, you want to make sure that the root is tight, but not tight onto the scalp of the client. Like, you want the lock to be tight, but the lock doesn't have to be tight on the client's scalp, if that makes sense. You want it tight. See right there where I have it tight, but I'm not making it tight like to where I'm just going closer and closer to the client's hair. You don't want their scalp to be tight, but you want to make sure the lock is tight. So that finger that's in the back, that pointer finger I have on my left hand, it's ensuring that I'm passing that hair to my other right hand, and it's also holding the back of that piece of hair that I'm wrapping around to make sure that it stays tight. I like to do like a little knot in between this, because sometimes clients complain in the past when I used to, first do locks, that their locks would slip. This is what helps my locks not slip. I make a little knot. I'll show you again in slow motion just so you guys can see. I put it behind my fingers. I put it over the lock. I go behind the lock, pull that little piece through, and I create like a knot, and I pull tight. Then after that, I'm going to take that small piece that's still left and just wrap really tightly, like super tight. I go up, I go down, and I'm just going to wrap it tight, tight, tight. So right here, I'm just adding some more hair because that first piece is over with. So again, I'm going to just take a little piece on the bottom of my left hand and then start wrapping. Make sure you start off tight with this so that it's not sliding or anything. You want to make sure that you're ensuring that this lock is not slipping and sliding at all. To also make sure the lock is tight, you can wrap upwards, downwards, and then keep going all the way down. That is what helps me. So then I had to go ahead and get a third piece of hair, and this is going to be the absolute last. I wrapped the lock around her ponytail, by the way. That's probably why the lock looks short, but I wanted you guys to see at a good angle. So basically, you're going to want to make sure that you grab your last piece of spring twist hair, wrap it around, and we're going to need nail glue for the ends of this lock. We're going to wrap that little piece all the way around, wrap it over the little braid we made on the Marley hair to cover it. Then we're going to get a piece of glue, and we're going to put some glue right where we're going to wrap over. And you want to wrap over tightly. You want to use your left pointer finger to hold that super tight like that. And you're going to want to wrap tightly. Then you can even, you know, if you want to make sure it's super secure, do a little piece again. And you want to wrap right over that piece again. Wrap up, wrap a little bit down, wrap up, wrap down. Make a little tie. Boom. And this is just going to ensure that the lock is not moving. So if I'm pulling it up and down, no hair is moving, it's not going to slide, it's on. That little piece of hair is just a little piece of spring twist hair that's just sticking out. But yeah, you can always cut that too if you don't want that there. But yeah, I'll show you guys another lock. Now I'm going to show you guys how I add the deep wave hair onto the lock. How most people have it like at the front. I'm just going to show you guys one lock in the front and one lock in the back. We're going to start off with the lock in the back first. So what we're going to do is while we're braiding, you know, the Marley hair and you're attaching the Marley hair to the client's hair, you're going to put that piece of deep wave hair to the middle piece. And you're just literally going to keep on braiding, but just adding that small piece right there to the middle of the 3 strands you have in your hand. And you're just going to keep braiding. A lot of people be making this part harder than what it is. You're literally just putting a piece of hair in a position to just keep braiding. That's it. Now we're just going to do as usual, take the spring twist hair, wrap around. That pointer finger is making sure that the wrapping is tight and not loosening. Because if you don't have your pointer finger there, it's just going to make the wrapping portion of it like turn loose. So anyway, now we're up to the part where we added hair. We want it out of the way so it sticks out of the lock. We're going to clip it up, clip it out of the way. We're going to wrap a little bit on top of it. Then we're going to wrap a little bit over it. Then we're going to get it out of the way again to make sure it's secure. And then we're just going to keep wrapping down. And that's it. You don't have to do that part where I'm wrapping on it and over it and all that if you don't want to. I just like mine to be super secure sometimes. That's just a tip you can do that a lot of people don't know that you can do just to make sure that the hair is not gonna be going anywhere, like no matter what. So now let's say you don't want to braid the client's hair before they get there, but you are parting and just going at the same time. You can just use a piece of their hair that they have. Make sure you use your gel to smooth down the part. If you don't want to braid their hair and just you want to braid their hair with the Marley hair, just full starting out to save you time, you can do that. You just want to make sure you smooth out that part. Make sure you add your gel. Make sure you comb it. Make sure you get that base nice, flat, and tight. I will say this mannequin head, the hair was just so thick in the hairline. I don't know why, but yeah. So you're going to use that client's hair as a third strand as usual. And you're going to want to start braiding kind of like a box braid. Boom. And you're going to want to braid it all the way down. Then don't forget, we're going to add our deep wave curl. So we're going to put that on the middle strand, literally add the end of it, and keep on braiding. And then some people like a lot more curls, so you can add 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many ever strands you want to add to the braid, depending on your client. This is just what I like to do. Sometimes I like to do 1, sometimes I do 2, but I never do 3. Here I'm just showing you guys what happens when you loosen up that pointer finger. See how it loosened up and now it's too loose? You don't want that to happen. So you want to keep that grip, pull it tight, and make sure that hair is going behind the pointer finger so it can hold it in the back. See, you want to keep wrapping it around, have that pointer finger hold it, hold it, hold it. Yes, so you want the lock to not loosen up like that. You don't want that to happen. Once you lose that grip on it, then the lock is just going to be loose. It's just air in it. It's not what we want. So you want to make sure your left hand pointer finger is keeping that wrapping hair tight on the lock. And this is basically the lock. So this is the end of the video. I am gonna leave down below in the description box how do you do touch-ups. It's literally the same thing, it just doesn't have human hair in the other video. But thank you guys so much for watching and for purchasing. If you have questions that I did not answer, just leave it down below and I'll comment back.